big. That's right. Fail big. You only live once, so do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works.
Waiting all day for Monday night. What's up, everybody, y'all? It's your friendly streaming crew, the Big Three. That's right, we got back-to-back on the same day today. It's the pregame show. The Cardinals visit the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium, where Kyler Murray is undefeated, but we don't know if he's playing. But y'all tune in. We're going to give y'all the updates. Y'all know I got my crew with me down below. I got Bob in the middle.
What's up?
Bob, how we doing down there? How's the weather down there in Denver today?
Oh, it's cold, man. Well, it's cool. It's cool. It's not cold. It's cool. You know, it's basically the same as when you were here. So we're talking 60 in the day, like 30 at night.
Yeah, it was really nice. I was glad to leave the rain and the cold up here to get down there. Kales with the intels down there in the nation's capital, hard at work because per reports, Jerry Jones says the Cowboys have a trade in place.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I might have to fall out the chair if the Cowboys make a trade before the trade line. But come on. We are live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn, and we're live on YouTube. It's the Big Three. We got the Cowboys versus Cardinals tonight on Monday night, prime time. It was a weird weekend, man. Hey, I seen Green Bay lost to the Carolina Panthers. Did you see that, Bob?
You know what? It was a very weird day. Let's not even talk about that poor dude's elbow, Washington. But it was a weird day. It was a weird day to see some wins and losses the way they went down. But Carolina looks like they're real. They're definitely real. They've got something going on that people are not planning for. For them to do what they did was pretty big, man.
Yeah, Rico told us to buckle up. I guess that Rico and Chuba thing back there is working, like what Kels always talks about with Detroit when it comes to Sonic and Knuckles. But how about the Cowboys getting in the run game today? Can we just stop and pause and have a Clayton Adams appreciation post today? Because if you did not know, our offensive coordinator, Clayton Adams, came from the Arizona Cardinals with that run game, brought it to the Dallas Cowboys, which, by the way, I think Kale's got some updates. Are we getting Cooper BB back today? What kind of intels can you give us on the injury reports for the game today?
Hold on. I didn't even pull up the injury report. It's been a week, guys. I've been in the
I know you kind of had a situation going on over there. So glad to see you here. I was, hoping that we'd see you here, but glad to see you here nonetheless.
Let's just say I'm happy to be alive after being told that whatever happened that I could have died. So
there we go. Caitlin tapping in with some great intakes. Kyler Murray inactive now. There goes that. There went the sports book.
That came out yesterday.
Yeah, and like I said, I think Brissett is really what they want. I think he's looking a little better to them, and a little bit of change. You know how it goes, man. A little bit of a switch in any position, especially a key like that, quarterback position. If someone's doing well, you tend not to want to rock that boat. That's exactly how Dak got his job.
Oh, Caitlin, give us some context on Green Bay because I seen Carolina beat Green Bay too, and Micah had like 0 pressures 40+ million for one tackle from Parsons versus Carolina. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that, but we do got a defensive trade apparently in the works that Kels got the intel but can't share it with us. So will the Cowboys actually make a trade? Now, me and her were going back and forth. Not like that's anything new back in the green room. And I was just telling her, I think maybe Jerry, and I'm going to get your thoughts on this, Bob, before we kick it off with the keys to winning in tonight's Monday night game, because we're on a schedule here as the game is set to kick off in about an hour and 10 minutes. But I just think Jerry's setting the table that, hey, we put a trade out there and it didn't manifest. And sorry, we like our guys. We got our picks and our money and we're moving on. Do you actually think something may happen now that we were a lot of people, like you were saying, Bob, in the green room are talking about this potential trade that's been put in?
You know, my point of view is I'm going to stick with what I said last week and what I've been saying since we moved on from Micah Parsons. Those draft picks are such gold to Jerry Jones and this front office that trading them off for absolutely anyone who is not a freaking superstar and guaranteed winner is absolutely improbable for this team. So having said all that, if we do decide to make trades, I don't believe we're going to move on from our ones to do it. I believe we'll probably move on from threes and fours. And instead of getting a superstar at these positions we're looking for, we're going to get a second-tier linebacker or a second-tier defensive end who's not going to kill us in our money position, who's going to still give us the ability to make sure we get picking some money or whoever else we want to re-sign. I don't think Jerry's really good at letting us know, hey, we're going to do something big, and then something big is really anything. So he'll treat everything like it's huge, and this is going to be a second-tier pickup. Whether it is or not, I don't know. But if we do something, it's not going to be the players you want them to be. I almost guarantee that.
Hey, Sarah, I'm not stressed. I'm just trying to get my life together after being in the hospital.
She's grinding.
Yeah. Like I said, we appreciate you being here. I don't know all the details on that, but I know you being here is a blessing, because if you wouldn't have been here, I know you would have let me know otherwise. But other than that,
we'll talk backstage.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, we're getting Cooper Beebe back. That's got to be good for this offensive line, especially with Clayton Adams, now our offensive coordinator, who came from Arizona and brought that run game where Javonte Williams has been having his way. I mean, how is this offensive line shaping up? How are we looking with any of these returns? I know there's been a multitude of injuries and everything going on. Any other news besides the Cooper Beebe?
They placed linebacker Jack Sanborn on IR, so Kenneth Murray will be wearing the green dye helmet. They signed running back Malik Davis to the active roster. They elevated cornerback, and I'm gonna touch a little bit on Zion in a minute, him and Kalen Carson, but they elevated cornerback Zion Childress and my boy that I like, tight end Princeton Fant, for tonight's game. The other inactives, of course, is Donovan Wilson, Elijah Clark. Elijah Clark will be out for a couple of weeks. Offensive tackle, Ajani Cornelius, Jaden Blue, Mozzie Smith, Hakeem Adigi, and Mingo are the inactives for game. Tonight is the Cowboys salute to service game.
Hey, shout out to Fergie, nominated for the Dallas Cowboys as one of 32 USAA salute to service.
Nice
guys out there getting it in with the troops, man. Salute to Fergie. Big time.
I'm trying to see if I could find some pictures, because normally they will post it. I don't know if they're wearing the red, white, and blue helmet, but if so, I will be wearing this hat.
Hey.
Close to it. But anyway, they will be in the primary white. Right now, the Cowboys have $30,915,071 in cap space.
Yeah.
Well, Bob was alluding to Jacoby Brissett, probably the Cardinals being better under Jacoby Brissett. I don't know. I think they're on a 5-game losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. I know they're 2-5. We can't really talk. Hell, we 3-4-1. We trying to get to 500 here. But I mean, with Kyler Murray being out now, it looks like the table is set for this defense, Bob. I mean, but they still got this tight end over there named Trey McBride, and also they got Marvin Harrison Jr., a couple guys who can catch the ball. And we know this defense the secondary has been getting torched. I think the worst you've seen probably that you could remember, because I know you're a historian, all the way back to the 90s in those days. Probably the worst defense we've seen. Do you think this Arizona offense is going to get off on prime time with AT&T?
At any given time, it feels like any team can just go the hell off on us. We watched it already. We've seen teams that have whipped our ass go and play a team that we've lost to or beaten, whatever the case may be, and not do the same. Everyone brings it when they play Dallas. And I know it feels that way, but it's actually pretty true, especially considering how many primetime games we get. So we're talking about teams that want to prove that they're great, whatever situation that may be. I don't know that we've got I don't know that they're going to whip us, but I think they'll probably score some points on us. I feel like we're going to win this game tonight. I feel like we're going to win it big, if I'm being honest. But I don't want to count those players in particular out, because those are going to be the money makers for their team today.
Yeah, Trey McBride. Go ahead, Kels.
But to me, Arizona is still like that juggernaut team. Whether they come to AT&T Stadium or we go to the desert to play.
Yeah.
So I'm not walking into this game lightly saying, oh yeah, this is a definite win. I'm hoping for us to win. I think I did have this game.
Yeah, we all got it. We all got W's this week.
Yeah.
So we'll get the predictions at the end of the game.
But yeah, this Arizona has always been like the juggernaut team.
Well, but we can all agree we have a problem with this Dallas defense, and a lot of us have been trying to figure out about accountability, what is getting done. And I think Todd Archer, who mistakenly calls Matt Eberflus Brian, like in Brian Schottenheimer, asked a pretty good question after they get up on the wrong foot. But here's Matt Eberflus on the adjustments in this defense moving into week 9.
Todd Archer, Brian. Flus, sorry about that.
Is that your brother? Or?
Yeah. Scott threw me off. So, Todd Archer with ESPN. You talk about the accountability part of it.
Yeah.
How do you hold guys accountable? What do you guys do? What's the effect?
Yeah, it's real simple. You look in the mirror, right? You don't look elsewhere. You look in the mirror and what can I do better? How can I perform better as a football coach, as a D tackle, defensive back, linebacker, whatever it might be, and then you come up with a plan to do that. And you certainly use people around you. Use your coaches, use your players, use everybody around you to do that, to set that plan, and then you grind. You grind to get better. You get better every single day. You go out there, and you grow, and that's how you grow as a football team.
Talking about accountability, Kels, what can you tell us about this secondary? Because we know we've had some changes. Who can we expect to see back there in the secondary tonight? I know we got at least DeRon Bland, right?
Yeah. I mean, what can we really say about this defense? It's really like no playbook for a team, basically, because we're just all over the place. But when it comes down for this Arizona team, especially with the offense, and I'm gonna tie both of these together, they will have to play downhill with this Arizona team. The one thing I can say, it won't be a lot of misdirection with this Cardinals offense. They have been having difficulties with tight ends on the edges. And let's go to the Arizona Cardinals and why I said this. So, we said this team is 2-5, and they're coming off of their 5th straight loss in their bye, and 5 of their games have been lost by 5 points or less. And
yeah, been a lot of close games.
Right, and 3 of those games came in the last second by field goals. They have blown 3 4-quarter leads this season. This offense is led by Drew Pitson, and their O-line coach is Justin Fry, who has replaced Clayton Adams. This offense is very pass-heavy. Is a very pass-heavy approach on second downs and in the red zone, while third and short situations are typically run-heavy. Their run game seems to have no sense of direction. You're still going to see a lot of the pulling and trapping that they are accustomed to. It's just not as creative with Pitson and Fry like it was when Clayton Adams was the OC there. They have seen a drop of efficiency. They play a lot of motion, and this is coming back to the point that I made about our defense having difficulties with the opposing offense tight ends
Well,
on the edges.
The good thing is Kyler Murray's out. I mean, he's the top rusher for their offense right now.
Right,
He's
but
a
we're talking
problem.
about we're talking about the tight ends on the edges.
Yeah, Trey McBride. Yeah, Trey McBride, totally.
So McBride brings yak and he plays downfield. He's a great blocker, and so far this season he has had 4 touchdowns. And he can basically destroy the Cowboys defense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm scared. It really doesn't matter who the quarterback is because, I mean, we've seen Caleb Williams look like a superstar against this offense. I mean, this defense, like everybody's pretty much had banner nights against this defense. And now we're on prime time. We know everybody's tuning in tonight, which we always draw eyeballs anyway, but it's the last game of week 9. And it's very important NFC game. And it's always like Arizona seems to have our number.
Right. And that's what I said. They're a juggernaut team. And they will use their running backs in the backfield.
And speaking of their running backs, let's take a look at their top rushers. The Benson, 29 attempts, 160 yards. Like I said, Kyler Murray, 29 attempts, 173 yards, 1 touchdown. He's their leading rusher, but that was who I was most concerned with. Now that he's inactive, I like our chances. I mean, that's got to move the line. Who's keeping up with the over and under right now? I know it's over under 54 points, but I think the line's got to move now with the Kyler Murray inactive, especially, Bob, with who you were calling, Jacoby Brissett, Trey McBride, Kobe Brissett, Marvin Harrison Jr. could be like a banner night against this defense, especially on primetime. That's what I'm most scared of, even though I got the Cowboys winning 33-27, because we can all score 40 points at home, but I don't think the Cowboys score 40 points tonight.
No, I think they're just going to be underneath that. And I do believe that we are going to have a very, very big, long problem throughout the night, considering our linebackers absolutely suck. So, really the only way to counteract what we're all predicting right now to happen. So let's just say that we're saying one thing is going on. The only way for what we're saying to be wrong is if we get some pressure off the edge. And if we make sure. Oh, shit. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying that being able to stop their run and being able to add some pressure to their quarterback is going to be able to give us just the only chance that we have of stopping these guys. Because if they have time back there, Brissett's a good pocket quarterback. He's going to tear us up, I think.
Yeah, I think our tight end's going to have. I think Fergie's going to have a big night tonight. But Kels, what you got coming in on the wire for the entails?
Okay, so we all know that Cam Little of the Jacksonville Jaguars has broke Justin Tucker's longest field goal with 68 yarders. And guess who is on the field right now kicking 70 and more?
Oh, yeah, of course he'd have to do it on a primetime game. You know what's I seen that. I let him go. I hate to say this. I let that kicker go in one of my leagues a couple of weeks ago. It was like a bye week, and I needed to shuffle some people around. So I was like, Cam gotta go. You know what I mean? I had too many other bodies. Somebody picked him up. But yeah, that dude kicked a 68-yarder. Now, we were talking about this up in Denver, Bob, while I was there, about the air being crisper, the ball traveling a little bit farther. Maybe the table was set for Aubrey, but maybe tonight on Monday night, could we see it? Because I got him in my fantasy football lineup. I would love a 70-yard field goal by Aubrey.
I mean, he has done a 70-yard, but it doesn't count because it was in preseason.
Yeah. But the only way that we can do anything with these guys is be some sort of pressure defense. Listen, we can all agree right now, if we were a 500 defense, we would have 4 more wins on this log for us. I mean, it's astounding that if we could just stop what teams are doing in some way and just do what we do on offense, how we could light that board up. It's just so infuriating right now. And there's nothing that Eberflus can say for any soundbite that we play ever that's going to make any of us go, oh, okay, cool, we're in good hands. I mean, those are just canned answers to canned questions. And every week it's said, and every week we see the garbage on the field. And I don't know what he's going to do differently this week to make sure that we don't see that garbage again.
Yeah, well, I got a little clip here because everybody seemed to toss GP's name around. He was coming up, trade discussions. Would he be traded? He's on a 1-year deal, things like that. And somebody asked him about his contract situation. So as we approach the trade deadline by tomorrow, where we have confirmed with my girl Kels, there is a trade in. We just can't say with who, but here is GP on his contract situation with the Joneses.
You rather get a deal done now or wait till the offseason?
I really don't. That's kind of up to like what he want to do. All I can do is just perform at my best. To be honest. Jerry. No.
Any discussions at all?
No, not so far. But like I said, me personally, I'm just trying to get a dub, trying to stack victories, trying to get us to the playoffs, win. Honestly.
Having been traded once already, do you have any concerns with the trade deadline coming up about whether you'll be here after that?
No, I kind of, like I said, I kind of don't get into that stuff. I can only like be where my feet is, you know what I mean? So I kind of just stay with the guys, practice with the guys, try to do my best, put my best foot forward.
You know what I like about that right there is when folks, you hear a lot of players say that I can only be where my feet is. That's like a polite way of saying next question. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to talk about that right now. So no movement on any discussions with GP and his contracts because everybody's saying, Kels, we need to take care of GP because if I'm not mistaken, he's like in the top 3 of receiver yards in the league currently. So you hearing any intels on GP's contract? Because, his agent is Mulugeta. David?
I just hope, if they can handle these trades and get his contract signed, even if it's at the beginning of next year's league year, it's not, that contract is really not going to take effect or hit the cap space until the following year.
Well, I think I found out why we're not gonna see Kyler Murray. So if you're just tapping in and you did not know, Kyler Murray was gonna play, but now he's not playing. He's being reported being inactive. But somebody asked CeeDee Lamb to compare, his former quarterback with his current quarterback, and here's what CD had to say and more.
Kyler's coming back from injury here. And, what are you expecting to see from him Monday night? Like in a place where he's never lost, 9-0 with 18 touchdowns.
That's my man. He's a dynamic player, great deep ball thrower. I'm expecting somebody to run a double move. I'm expecting him to come out and be aggressive in BK1. He's going to extend plays. He's going to try to manipulate the defense and put his guys in the best position. I hope we make him uncomfortable and he don't really just do what he normally does.
Do you see similarities in his game to Dak Prescott's game?
I don't compare my quarterbacks, but I don't. I really don't. But as far as the competitor, absolutely.
I was talking about Kyler Murray, but Bob is kind of high on Jacoby Brissett. And let's get to the keys to victory because we all got the Cowboys winning. And my key to victory is going to be the secondary. I mean, I know we can score 40 points at home on any given Sunday or Monday, but with Trey McBride and also with Marvin Harrison Jr. and especially Jacoby Brissett, I mean, this guy is not some just brand new quarterback. This guy's kind of seasoned. He's probably going to be like, I'm going to come in here on prime time. We're going to light it up. But my key to tonight's win is going to be, can this secondary not allow Arizona to score 40 points? Bob, what might be your key to the Cowboys winning tonight?
Listen, I've said this before. I don't know if I've been proven wrong because we all predict something and then our predictions go to hell because no one cares about them the next day. But I often say Dak doesn't really make or have 2 bad games in a row. It's very. I've just never seen it happen. He is just so good at making sure that he corrects things, because if he's not the one that does it, no one's going to follow him. You know what I mean? I have a feeling that today Dak is going to be the offensive MVP, and I wrote it down. I think Bland is going to be the defensive MVP. So, we can make all these predictions. It's what I want to see. I don't know. I can't tell you that Bland is going to be an MVP on the defense because our defense sucks. So I just don't know.
He had a pick 6 against Washington. I mean, he could pick off Brissett at home. He could get everybody excited there. We've seen crazier things in the NFL, but going back to defense and going back to this trade, we heard Shotty opening up the week talking about defense. And, now that we've got this trade development happening in Dallas, here's what he had to say about defense and one particular guy when asked about Micah Parsons, who had zero pressures against Carolina and 0 sacks. Listen in.
And then as everything with this season comes back to Micah and the trade and all that stuff, did you guys underestimate in any way what he does for guys around him, or overestimate what you guys had remaining after the trade?
No, Todd, I think Mike is certainly a great player, and we all know that. No one will ever point to the fact that Mike is not a credible player, but defense is about more than just one guy.
Uh-oh.
I mean, like, some of our defensive struggles have not been because of one guy not doing the right thing, and it's not been one assignment. It hasn't been one defense, whether it's man, zone, whatever. It's been what team defense is about. I saw a crazy stat. Myles Garrett, somebody said, had 5 sacks last game and they lost. I mean, this is the ultimate team game, and defense. And the more I spend time over there, you realize, I guess as the offensive guy, I just kind of always took it for granted because we had our own issues. But if you're not aligned perfectly in terms of your fits and things like that, it makes it really, really difficult. And so, again, I all respect to Mike. What a great player, but team defense is what we need to play better.
And
I agree.
to add to what he's saying, when it comes to defense, this will probably be a fluke game, because looking at Carolina Cardinals defense,
PTSD. I know.
right.
I know.
The Cardinals defense, who is led by Nick Rallis, this is a base 4-3 defense. However, they play majority base 3-4. This unit is considered the team biggest strength after offseason additions like Calais Campbell and Dalvin Tomlinson, along with the existing players that they have on the roster, which is Zevin Collins and Byron Brownie. They like to rotate their D-line. So they have 8 pieces that they rotate at different points in time of the game. The line has improved significantly in pass rush, even though there is no pass rush. And the run stop win rates compared to 2024. When it comes down to their scheme, this defense has also implemented a new hybrid scheme involving box quarters, robber concepts, and post-snap movements to create confusion for opposing offenses. They are a 2 high safety team. Their safety plays 20 to 25 yards deep. They do a dime package, which is 2 down linemen, 4 in the second level and 5 in the back. If the opposing opposing offense decides to pass the ball, that's if the opposing team decides to pass the ball as well, they do some nickel plays. One thing you have to look at, like I tell people, read the field. This is another team just like the Broncos. They communicate very well in the line with their secondary. And when I say this is pretty nice and scary to watch. And this is where it could happen. This is why I said this is a zone. This is a fluke game. They run heavy zone. They are the second most zone ran team in the league. They run 22% man, and the rest is zone. And their pass off, they pass off coverage very well. This defense allows more than 4 yards per carry on the ground. And this is going to bring me to my key to the game. They run and hit, and they do run and hit, and they're the only ones that have kept this team very competitive in their last 8 games or 7 games. They're the only reason. Yet I already said it. They're the only reason why the Cardinals is in this game. Their defense is basically being ran by their linebackers and their safety, not their interior. They're not a big sack defense, and they play a lot of cover 4. And this brings me to one of my keys to the game as far as as far as with their defense, it's coming off. This is going to come off of our offense. This will be a game where Shoddy, Adams, and Dak have to scheme fast tempo plays. This will, to me, this is going to be a RB1 and a TE1 game.
Yeah, I like that. Fergie. I think Fergie's going to have a big game. I mean, one of the most targeted tight ends in the league. I think 51 receptions. Trey McBride, no slouch either. I think he's got 47 receptions. So he's big on the pass game there too as well. But Bob, Javonte Williams, who had 2 touchdowns against Denver last week. I mean, the ground and pound, it's good to have run game back in Dallas again, right?
It is, and it's actually my my improbable prediction right there is 175 yards for Javonte.
Whoa, 175. That's right. Start Javonte in your fantasy football lineup. Bob said 175 piece. Woo.
Why not? Why not? I mean, it's improbable, but not impossible. I mean, Rico Dowdle did it to us. I mean, why can't
Rico Dowdle did 2
back?
weeks back to back at 200 yards? I mean, yeah, I guess anything's possible. I mean,
Yeah,
Carolina beat Green Bay. I mean, they beat the Cowboys. I mean, anything's possible.
I'm moderately worried about the movement on the line, the offensive line. So we're going to keep going through these rotations where we have secondary players starting for a couple of weeks and then starters coming back, and that gives us that puts us in a bad position for the long run unless we get an offensive line that plays with each other for like 3 weeks in a row. That sort of continuity is broken almost every week when we start getting these players back. So the fact that we've got our center back tonight is going to be great, but I don't know if that's a great thing or a bad thing.
But guess what? He could have actually been active for the Broncos game.
Really?
Cooper. I think it's a great upgrade, especially Cooper at center. I mean, I know we've had the replacements in there on the offensive line. Everybody's banged up across the league. Cowboys, no different. We're not going to complain about that. It's always been next man up, but you got to love this recipe. Like Kales was saying with Javonte Williams and also Bob, very well could be a big night for Javonte Williams because Clayton Adams, our offensive coordinator, used to be the offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, and that run game in Dallas has improved. So let us know your predictions down in the comments below if you're tapping in. How many yards for Rico tonight? Because I'm sorry. Yeah, Rico got 400 back to back, but I'm talking about Javonte. Let me get my guys straight. But anyway, let us know in the comments down below how many yards for Javonte this week against the Cardinals, offensive coordinator of Clayton Adams' former team. I think maybe Clayton might have it out for him tonight. Maybe a 200 piece might be in the works, Bob.
Hey, listen, man, it could be on the ground. It could be a mixture of air and ground because I do think that guy can do really, really good things out of the backfield and on, Texas plays. And as much as I hate seeing screens, unless it's to a running back, I think Javonte could do some good things for us. He's got some good movement, man. So I don't know. He's going to be a part of it, but it really has to fall on Dak again because everyone is going to tell you that Dak is the reason why we lost to Denver, and that's not true. We lost to Denver because our defense is trash.
We played the best defense in the league. Actually, they led the league in sack. They only got the Dak twice, but when we didn't get any, you're right. Defense trash. No pressures on Bo Nix. As the predictions for Javonte Williams are coming in 117 yards, Paul. John only 70. Okay. Modest 70. Vondale says 126 for Williams. Yeah, could be a big ground and pound game tonight, especially on Monday football. But I mean, Jerry set the table now for this trade deadline tomorrow because we're going to know if anything's not going to happen by 4 p.m., 7 p.m. tomorrow. What time on the East Coast is it going to be for you?
It's going to be 4 p.m. East Coast.
So that's 1 p.m. on the West Coast. So we should know something by lunchtime. If not by tomorrow, by lunchtime. So don't know what this game's going to have impacted on that because even after we lost to Denver, we heard Jerry out on the mic saying that loss to Denver didn't make him squirm anymore for a trade. But now hearing that there is a trade in, maybe Jerry had a change of heart. And maybe the Cowboys can get to 500. That's a lot of maybes, but shit, anything can happen after Carolina beat Green Bay this week.
Oh, my God.
But, I mean, we need it on the defense. But when it comes to I think, like I said, this is going to be a Javonte and Fergie game because their safeties and their corners, that secondary, like I said, the way that they communicate. And even though he is not the player he was like 3 or 4 years ago, but I still got to put respect on Buda Baker. They're going to hold Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. So that's why this game and the way that
you're talking about their defensive scheme in terms of that Jake's going to be the benefactor tonight.
And
okay.
The way that their interior lineman is like Calais Campbell, this is his last year. This is his farewell tour. I mean, because he can't
been in the
down,
league for a minute.
Yeah, he can't get down like he used to get down because it takes him a minute, you know. And if you have looked at him, he stands straight up now when you look at him. And like I said, I've been in the hospital and I've been watching film while they're telling me I may die. But anyway, I'm watching film and Calais Campbell is standing straight up where he used to be, you know, hunkered down in the interior line. So now that interior line is not as a threat like it used to be. So the middle of the field is going to be wide open. And one thing that Fergie knows how to do is he knows how to cut and get in the middle of the field. And now you're bringing in Princeton Fant, this is a big tight end, and he is another blocker.
Man, we got Brevin Spann-Ford. Yeah, I know Princeton Fans. Shout out to Princeton. Right. Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker still. A lot of big tight ends.
I don't want anything with Scooney. But
I know you're crushing on Fergie. I'm crushing on Fergie right now too. USAA Salute the Service nomination for the Dallas Cowboys. I hope he wins it.
But Scooney, Scooney has when we drafted him and he came from.
I know he's Michigan. I know everybody don't like Michigan. Everybody trying to trade Mozzie by the trade deadline, all that too.
Yeah. But by bringing in Fant, that's going to relieve Fergie to get into the middle, so Fergie can do what Fergie gonna do some Fergie things. So I'm thinking as far as yards between him and Javonte, I'm giving it between 150 to 180 as a combined on the ground.
All right, so moving right along, we got B-Mac tapping in late. Just in case you're tapping in late too, before the game kicks off, we're about 30 minutes before the game kicks off. This is the pregame show with the Big Three. This was breaking news here today. It's shared in the comments below. Jerry Jones says the Cowboys have a trade in place per John Machota of The Athletic. Quote unquote, Jerry said immediately it will have him on the field and it will address some of the things that have been our shortcomings, Jones said via John Machota on The Athletic. The Cowboys acquired wide receiver Jonathan Mingo in a trade with the Panthers after a similar announcement from Jones last year with some context there. Jones said the team is still talking to other clubs about potential moves they could make ahead of the deadline. Keywords, they could make ahead. So there may be even more to come from Dallas, but no kibbles and bits, just a little bit, and we're not going to get the whole kit and caboodle till tomorrow.
Because they are trying to package Mozzie and Jalen Tolbert.
Mozzie and who?
And Jalen Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert. Wow.
I can release that one.
There we got some more intels there. Great question, B-Mac. Got the intels flowing.
So, but as far as the other one, I can't talk about that one. But Jerry Jones was on NFL Live a couple of hours ago, and he was with the NHL commissioner, because the Dallas Stars is going to run one of their series inside AT&T Stadium, and they showed the layout for it and all that other stuff. And Jerry Jones did say out of his mouth that there is a trade in place, but I need fans to know it's up to.
It's not going to be Max Crosby or some big time. It's going to be some lower end, something that's going to happen.
But Max Crosby is not really considered like like what Bob said, like a tier 2 player. He's still like a tier 1. And Max Crosby really just signed a big, massive deal. And by us getting ready, if we save whatever we have, which is we have over $30 million in cap space for this year, which can roll over until the next league year, and we're going to, and so with the money we're getting from the league for 2026 plus the restructuring clauses that's in both CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott's deal, we're talking about going into 2026 with close to $100 million in cap space.
Ooh, Shorty got money in the bank. Shorty, what you think? You know how it goes anyway. But anyway, as we get ready to close it out here.
So my thing is Max Crosby is going to take a huge chunk out of that.
Yeah, I don't foresee it happening. I was just saying
because we will have to take over that contract.
Yeah. It's too messy. It's too messy on the checkbook. I don't see it happening, but that's just a favor that's going around. Everybody's seeing that going around on X right now. But I already told y'all the big three got the Cowboys for the dub tonight in an all-important NFC matchup. I got the Cowboys winning 33-27. The over-under is 54 points. So that's about, 33, 27, 10, 60 points. So it's on the over. And I'll just throw that over to my guy, Bob, because I know you got a dub up too. Tell us about your predictions, because I like your 175 piece by Javonte. I'm feeling that.
That's the improbable prediction. Yeah, and I've got 31-28 Dallas on this one. I feel like it may be more of a shootout. I'm leaving some room there for the hope that our defense shows up. And this is them scoring 28 points with our defense becoming better than the worst. So I don't know. That's pretty much that's all I can get out of that one.
Yeah, Kels did say it was set up to be a Flus game. It looks like maybe all of the stars have aligned for Flus, because I know this for a fact. We are going into the bye week next week, and we need a win like yesterday, not only to get to 500, but that's going to carry over, because y'all going to have to hear me and my mouth for the next 2 weeks of We the Boys until we get to.
I could wear my hat. They're wearing the red, white, and blue. Okay, there we go.
Oh, you figured out now. We just got what news, what the uniforms are.
I just sent a text real quick to ask what helmet they're wearing.
The stripes on the helmet are red, white, and blue.
Oh, the red, white, and blue stripes on the helmet is being worn tonight. Yeah, of course, it's a salute to service game. Throwback to the original Roger Staubach. Dallas Cowboys flooded with their historical ties to the veteran community. But Kels, I'm throwing it to you now. What's your prediction between the boys and the Cardinals tonight on Monday Night Football?
Because we have seen Jacoby Brissett. Granted, he's a very good quarterback. I'm not taking nothing from him, but he will hand you a couple of picks.
Hello, Deron.
Deron Bland, this is your moment. I think the Cowboys is going to drop a 40 burger.
Ooh, I was about to say, because I'm at 33, Bob's at 31, and I was wondering where you were going to go, because we on average about 40 points at home. So there Kels is with the 40 burger.
These guys ain't the Broncos.
I'm giving the Cowboys 41. It's going to be a close game regardless, because this is a juggernaut team. 41. 38 Cowboys way.
Ooh, it's a lot of points. A lot of points on the board. I smell a Brandon Aubrey 70-yard, especially now that Cam Dicker, who I dropped a couple of weeks ago, broke the record. Now Justin Tucker, which Kels alluded to, was 68-yarder. Boy, imagine if Aubrey kicks a 70-yarder tonight.
He's on the field practicing 70.
You dropped us with the intels right here. He was on the field practicing the 70-yarders. Prime time just seemed like the thing to do it.
Before we go, because it's at 8:15. I get Monday night. I get Monday night and Sunday night confused because they start at 8:20. I'm trying to figure out for him to kick the 70. Do they have to be like four? Like, do they have to go on it like 4th and 2 to get a first down and then bring Aubrey out? You see what I'm saying? Like where they have.
Oh, you're trying to create the scenario on how it might happen.
Where they have to be.
I think it'll be right before the first half ends, and then we're gonna be some crazy field position. They're like, oh, are they gonna call it or not? And then, bam! I think Aubrey may come in and kick a 70-yarder before half. Y'all let us know in the comments below. It's great discussion, especially now that Cam Little holds that record now, 68 yards broken by Justin Tucker. Can the kickers keep it kicking on Monday Night Football? We got 3 dubs here across the panels.
This could
we
be
got our predictions.
This could be a Kyer Elam game too, because the more I've watched old film going back to his college years, he is a zone. He is a more zone corner than anything. And also, like I said, read the field, because when Zion Childress go out there, he is a more, I wish they would switch his position. He is a more safe, he's more safety than he is corner. Kalen Carson, he's more of a field corner instead of a boundary. So I would like to see him more in the field than being on the boundaries. I was telling you, I've been doing, I had nothing else. I had nothing to do in the hospital. So
you was putting in that work over there. I heard that. Well, you got our big 3 predictions here. This has been the pregame show. Tap in for the halftime show. I'll be back with that now that I'm back in the lab and off the road. And then we'll be live directly after the game to discuss whatever happens, win, lose, or tie. The big 3 will be live. But that's Bob over there. That's my girl Kels with the intel. It's been the big 3. How about them Cowboys, baby? Can we get to 500? Give us a hell yeah in the comments. We'll see y'all in the post-game show after Monday Night Football.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.